Hello everyone, big news coming up today, my weekly update, so look out for that towards the end of the video, but I'm letting you know it's going to be really exciting and you won't be expecting it. I've got a mega Q&A session, I'll be talking about my broken Mounjaro pen and thanking someone who bought me a coffee. So let's get straight into the Q&A. Here we go. So the first question today is from SJ Mounjaro Journey, and he said, when did you increase from 2.5 to 3.75 and what reason did you do it? I seem to be getting hungry now by Thursday, so thinking about upping my dose every 5 to 6 days. So I started off on 2.5 like most people do in the UK and did 4 weeks of 2.5 and then moved up to 3.75, and that's where I've been ever since. That is kind of done the job for me for the last, well, I'm 22, 23 weeks in now. So certainly for the last 4.5 months, I've been on 3.75. And yes, I'm the same. I get hungry towards the last few days before I have my jab. I do get hungry. I just try and manage it, just try and control it and see myself through until my next injection. So yeah, that's exactly how I did it. Right, so next question today is from Monkey Nut YD, and they're basically saying they started the journey 4 days ago. They're struggling to get the calories in because they have little or no hunger, and they're worried they're not eating enough, but they're also worried that if they eat any more, they're going to start putting weight on. The first 4 days, they lost £3, hoping to lose £7 by the end of the week. And they're worried that that's not going to be a big enough loss because they see people losing £11 in a week. Now, first things first, I would always suggest you take your calories. Not medical advice, not a doctor, not a physician, none of that stuff. But make sure you take the calories out you're allocated, because if you don't, it's not healthy. So I track my calories every day of the week. Some days I go over, some days I go under like you are. But as long as I balance it up on a weekly basis, I'm more than happy to do that. And I would suggest you probably did the same. And it sounds like you're kind of heading that way anyway. If you're struggling to get calories in, meal replacement shakes is what I used in my early days. Don't tend to use them so much these days because I don't need them. They're quite good for getting the calories in, and you can get a complete meal replacement that includes all the protein, all the carbs and all the vitamins that you need. So have a shop around for those and maybe take those if you're not getting enough calories. As for the weight loss, we're all different, everybody's different. I can remember in a week losing £7, and yeah, it's brilliant. It's not necessarily what you want on this journey. You want a slow and steady, and don't compare yourself to others. That would be my biggest take home from your question, is don't compare your journey to my journey. I won't compare my journey to other people's journey. We're all different. We all lose weight at a different rate, but make sure you're getting your calories in. But it's a great question and I appreciate that. Thank you. Next question today is one I answered a few weeks ago, and what I'm going to do, and this is from Bostic67. Have you dealt with excess skin after losing 5 stone? I did a video on it the other day. I'll pop the link in the description for you. But basically, I've been really lucky, I think. I have got I think I described it at the time as feeling like when you go to a birthday party or kid's birthday party and the kids get a balloon and then 5 days later it's a little bit deflated. I'm not got saggy skin hanging off me, but everything feels a little bit different to what it did before. But I'm more than happy to take that. So have a look at the video in the description, and that is that's for Bostic67. But fingers crossed, I carry on being that lucky. Right, so the next question is off SJ Mounjaro Journey again. He sent another one in, so I appreciate that, mate. Just been in a conversation with a partnership manager in work, and he showed me a comparison website and said he shops around each month to get the best price. Have you ever done this? I've seen the comparison website, I've looked at it, I've looked at the prices, and I'll be brutally honest, I cannot be bothered with it. I started with MedExpress, moved over to Zava, been with them ever since. I can't be doing the consultation every month, can't be doing all the photos and all the hassle of sending this off, signing that, for the sake of what it's going to save. So maybe that's bad on my part, but really can't be bothered with it. If there were massive savings to be had, then 100%, yeah, I would be doing it every month. But the way I see it is they're not massive savings, so yeah, not for me. I love this question, and it's from James Hayward 1314, and he's also sent in 2 questions, so we'll get to your second question in a bit, James. Hi, what long-term changes have you made to your diet since you started taking Mounjaro? Are there any foods that were old guilt pleasures that you've cut out? I've replaced sausage and bacon butties. That's a sandwich. If you don't know what a butty is, with all bran topped with prunes, nuts, and Greek yogurt, and I'm loving it. I've cut out so many of the foods that I used to love, and not always been a conscious effort to cut them out. I just don't fancy them anymore. Always been a massive chocoholic. Very, very rarely have chocolate now. What other stuff have I cut out that I love? I still have a fry up. You mentioned bacon butties. I love a fry up. I love bacon. I love hash browns. Love sausages, black pudding, fried bread, toast. I'll still do that. But if I do it, I count the calories, and it's probably the only meal I have that day. It's all about, for me, doing the stuff that you want to do, but doing it in moderation. Stuff I've cut out. Oh, I'm from Devon. Pasties. Not had a pasty in ages. What else have we cut out that I really enjoy? It's probably nothing else. I'm honestly can say, James, I'm doing everything I was doing before, but doing it in smaller portion sizes and making sure I count the calories. So the next one's from Jane Day, and she's asked, did you maintain on your holiday? So I was in holiday in France last week, and I'll be honest with you, Jane, not telling you. You'll have to wait until the weekly update, which is going to be after the Q&A. So sorry. She's been given the all clear by her GP to start on Friday, so hopefully she started her journey yesterday. And her question is, what sort of food have you been eating? Have you incorporated many carbs, such as rice, potatoes, and white bread? Or have you eliminated them? Fairly honestly say I've pretty much eliminated them. I don't eat massive amount of carbs, and I think taking Mounjaro will guide you towards higher protein anyway. And carbs are quite high in calories, aren't they? So I don't have a huge amount of carbs. I've probably, if I have a breakfast, I'll have a bit of toast. When I say breakfast, I mean if I have a fry up, a full English breakfast, I'll have a bit of toast. I don't have sandwiches. I don't occasionally have rice for dinner in the evenings, and occasionally have a baked potato or a jacket potato in the evening. But the main thing I've probably cut out and I don't have anymore is pastry, and I don't have bread. So the stuff I eat is high protein. All through the summer I was having chicken salad for lunch. Evening meals tends to be salmon or chicken or fish with veg, occasionally a bit of rice. I've never been a huge fan of pasta anyway, so I don't miss that in the slightest, although I do like a good spag bowl. Right, next up, Martin Hughes, 8138. He's been on Mounjaro for 8 weeks and lost 1.5 stone. Really enjoying my channel. Thanks, Martin. Appreciate that. Good man. And he's talking about, if you're using your pound for half dosing or microdosing, how do the suppliers respond when you order medication with a larger gap in between? So I think he's asking, will they still let you order it? Now, with a pen, you'll get 4 doses out of it. You'll squeeze a 5th dose out of it. So it's plain to see if you're going to do that or you're going to microdose. And I don't microdose, but I do golden dose. There's going to be a larger and larger gap between when you order it. They want you to order it every 4 weeks. What I tend to do, Martin, is I'll order it every 4 to 5 weeks regardless. And I'll put it in the fridge, knowing full well that I will use it when I get round to it. I did sort of push my luck once and ordered it sort of 6, maybe even 7 weeks gap between orders. But I did email Zava at the time and say, look, from when I took my first pen, I didn't start it for 3 to 4 weeks. I basically told them a little porky, and they were absolutely fine. Said, no problem. If you don't order from these companies, they'll start bombarding you with emails asking you to order anyway. And they may even sneak in a little discount code as well, which they occasionally do. But if you haven't ordered it in 4 or 5 weeks, they'll start begging you to order it. Drop them an email, say, I'm not ready for it yet, I'll order it in a week, and you'll be absolutely fine. I'm sorry, Martin, that was a little bit long-winded, but I think you're getting the gist of what I'm saying, and it's basically, don't worry about it, they'll be absolutely fine. If in doubt, just order it, stick it in the fridge, don't open it, it'll be fine. Right, so next one's from James Hayward, 1314 again. And he's worked out his BMI, wants to know how many calories he should be taking, and his BMI saying it's 2,440 calories per day. He's weight training, swimming and hiking, so he's incredibly active. And he's eating 2,500 calories a day and aiming for 125 grams of protein. You absolutely sound like you've got this smash, James. I don't know why you're asking this question. You sound like we should be asking you the questions. He's moving up to 5 milligram, and he's worried that he's going to struggle to eat the calories with the higher dose of Mounjaro. Cross that bridge when you get to it, mate. I would do what you can. If you're struggling, I'm going to mention the meal replacement shakes again. If you're struggling to get the calories in, I would take one of those. Some people knock them. For me, they've been so helpful in my journey. And the scales and how you feel will let you know. If you're feeling lethargic, if you're feeling tired, if you feel like you've got no energy, you're probably not eating enough. And if you're losing too much weight, again, you need to be eating more calories. If you track your calories, take a meal replacement shake if you're short on calories. It's basically a milkshake. It's a drink, isn't it? You'll be absolutely fine. And just take it day by day. You really don't need to be worrying too much about it. See how you feel. Right, so that's all the questions for today, and they've been absolutely fantastic as always. I know I sound like a broken record, but if you can leave your questions down below in the comments for next Saturday's Q&A, and I'll do them in next week's video. Also want to mention, thanks for all the likes and comments on the previous videos. Really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. And I'll drop some affiliate links down below for the Pep app, GLP-1 app that I use for tracking my shots, and I also use it for tracking my food. So now it's a weekly update time, isn't it? I had quite a few comments asking me how my weight loss was while I was on holiday. I went to France for the week, had a fantastic bit of a road trip, really, travelling around France. I don't think I ate a huge amount on holiday, but I ate the foods that I don't normally eat. So I was eating a lot of croissants, a lot of chocolate pans, a lot of pastry items. And I don't normally eat, as I mentioned previously, I don't eat a lot of carbs. And I was eating a lot of bread. How can you not eat bread when you're in France? And cheese. So it wasn't the healthiest week, but I don't think I overate. And that sort of reflected in the scales this week. So I stayed exactly the same. So I am 248 pounds, 17 pounds, 10 stone, or 112 kilos. And that covers everyone in the UK, everyone in Europe, and everyone in America. We got pounds, we got stones, we got kilograms. Jobs are good. So yeah, that was kind of my week. I've managed to get to the gym twice this week, which is a little bit disappointing, but life does get in the way sometimes. I was aiming to be a little bit more consistent in the gym, but I'm going to call that a fail because I only made it twice. I also mentioned that someone bought me a coffee. I'll stick a link for buy me a coffee up here. Someone called Lisa Rust bought me a coffee and said thanks for the videos, and that's very much appreciated. I'm not saying that anyone ever needs to buy me a coffee, but if you want to give me a little thanks, the coffee link is there, and it is very much appreciated because who doesn't love coffee? I certainly do. So thanks for that, Lisa Rust, very much appreciated. Now, my pen broke, my Mounjaro pen broke. So I had a 5 milligram pen that I've been taking 3.75 milligrams from, and it's broken. Used it the first week, primed it as normal, injected, absolutely fine. Happy with that. Next week, primed it, went to do it, couldn't get a shot out of it. Now, you would not believe the battle I've had with my supplier to get that replaced. Probably about 7 or 8 emails, to and fro in. And eventually they said, because I'm such a loyal customer, well, yeah, I've spent a lot of money on it, guys. They're happy to replace it. So I had to post the old broken pen back, get proof of delivery, send them proof of delivery, and they are now sending me a replacement, which was supposed to come today. I'm filming this on Friday, ready for today, Saturday, tomorrow, Saturday, and it hasn't arrived. But I've heard of the Royal Mail, and it is on its way. So if you do ever have a broken pen, be prepared that you may have to battle with your supplier to get it replaced, because I think that they think that we're all con men and we're all trying to scam them, but this was a genuine problem. And I'll be honest, when the new pen comes, I've gained one shot, which, grand scheme of things, I suppose it is 30, 40 pounds, isn't it? But it did genuinely break, and it was genuinely hard work to get it replaced. So my exciting news this week. I think it's exciting. You guys probably won't even blink an eyelid at it. But if you watch any of my videos, and I'm guessing you're here because you like my videos maybe, or you enjoy watching my honesty, you enjoy watching my warts and all journey on Mounjaro. So my breaking news, my exciting news, my amazing news is I'm no longer Mr. 3.75. 3.75, 3.75. I've only taken 3.75. I'm 3.75 guy, Mr. 3.75. No. No. I am Mr. 5 milligram guy now. So all my next videos are going to be, I'm on 5 milligram. I'm on 5 milligram. Mr. 5 milligram. 5 milligram. 5 milligrams. Yeah, so I've upped my dose, and the reason I did it was because I've weighed the same weight now for 4 weeks. I've discounted the holiday week. That doesn't count because I was eating pastries and all the rest of the lovely flan and that kind of gear. So I felt it was time for me to go up, and I've taken a 5 milligram shot now. And I've got to be honest, I wish I'd done it earlier, because it was like starting again. My appetite completely dipped. My food noise sort of went back to where it was. So I've kind of got to say that it must have been time to go up, and it was probably time to go up. It must have been time to go up, and it was probably time to go up about a month ago. So that would have been 4 months into my journey. So yeah, my exciting news is I am now Mr. 5 milligram, and I'll keep posting on that, because it might be that I start going down the doses. I'll see how it feels, see how I get on, but so far so good. Did have the old headache on injection day again, which I've not had for a long time now, and I did feel a little bit of nausea, which I've not had before, and that was the night of the injection and the day after as well. So that's my exciting news for this week. So that kind of concludes Saturday's Q&A and weekly update video. If you haven't seen my 3-month update, I'll leave a link there for it. If you haven't seen my 4-month update, I'll leave a link there for it. And if you haven't seen my 5-month update video, I'll leave it wherever there's a gap. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you all on Wednesday. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. And if you do feel like buying me a coffee, you'll find the link in the description. Bye now.